So there was a video posted in the Switch PSR Discord of a Japanese player being able to clip outside of the intro using a bench in Pokemon Legends ZA. So I figured I would show off how to do that in English, just so that way there is some kind of knowledge base on this glitch in case something comes up where this may become useful. So I am on a fresh save file here at the intro where the starters are starting to run away to chase after the Pancham. And how this glitch works is normally in a tutorial area, you have a lot of invisible walls that keep you from progressing anywhere further. As you can see, I can't go anywhere here. This is entirely walled off by an invisible wall that I can't get through. However, we can use what I'm going to call a bench clip to essentially bypass that invisible wall. Now, this bench here is pretty interesting, namely because of this ledge behind it. You can kind of wind up kind of crawling over the bench. Not going to cooperate for me right now, of course, because I'm recording now, but like that. You can move over the bench, kind of climb over it. And what we can do is we can kind of abuse that animation of us getting over the bench to kind of preserve our momentum and vector while in a like a text box cutscene. So the timing is a little finicky. I'm still trying to figure it out, and failing it is really annoying because every time you have to come up here, you have to go through that text box mentioning the like invisible wall or whatever. But what I find most consistent is you want to be pressing A slightly before jumping over the bench. And as you can see, I kind of got stuck there for a second, but then that let me get through. So I'm going to show that again here. So the trick here is that the anti-homeless like armrests can kind of block you from getting over the bench. So while you're also trying to have a specific angle that you clip off the bench to get off this building here and through the invisible wall, you do have to be mindful of the armrests here of kind of getting in your way. So you kind of have to try to climb over the bench kind of around those. And it doesn't matter if you use the person following you or the bench prompts. Like here I can have there's no time sitting around, or I can have Urbane here complain. It doesn't matter which cutscene you use, it's just a matter of using one of them. So what I like to do is I kind of like to face the direction that I'm going to go to get the A prompt going, and then I will tend to press A slightly before jumping over. I find that to be more successful. Your mileage may vary depending on your controller and your timings of stuff. But that should let you pretty easily clip out. And this wall is very conveniently placed or angled in such a way that you don't need to have a very specific angle to clip through. It'll just push you past. And as you can see now, I'm past. And sometimes, even though you clear that text box, you can be floating for a long while, even after clearing that text box, without being able to like drop out of the sky. I haven't quite figured out the timing or anything for that, but as you can see, I'm now on the other side of that invisible wall, and I'm just free to wander. So the invisible walls appear to be both ways in this game. So as I walk up to this, I can't just walk back into bounds. But there are some things that I can do now. I can run around and I can pick up items. And that's pretty much it. I can't open my menu, but there's not a whole lot I can do here because my bag is disabled. But say I wanted to go like climb a ladder and explore Lumios, that's perfectly fine. You can't run, so things don't move very quickly. But as far as I can tell, you know, the whole city's at your fingertips, and I can say pick up this dive ball here, and no matter how much I press right trigger to try to throw a ball, it just won't let me. But as you can see, there will be Pokemon spawned in normally. NPCs are all doing their thing as you would expect, including ones in areas where you wouldn't normally see. So there's basically a fully loaded Lumios to do whatever you want in the intro here. Nothing seems to be particularly off limits except for what you can or can't do, which is basically, you know, you can't throw Pokeballs is the biggest hindrance here. Now, I don't know that there's going to be a lot of cutscene triggers that are immediately available from the intro for you to skip major parts of the game. That's probably not how this game is built. It's more likely that this bench clipping method would be useful in a speedrun to skip or cut through where an invisible wall might block you off from getting to something sooner. But as far as speedrun context, it is very unclear that this has any particular use cases at this time. That's just something that people will have to play around with and see if at any point there is something that is useful out of this whole trick. Now, another thing too is that Urbane will just follow you the whole time, regardless of the fact that you're outside of the normal playing area. And another thing of note is that you can just go all the way around and go to the starter cutscene to, you know, skip, quote unquote, following Pancham and your starters. However, that is not going to actually save you time compared to just playing the game normally. So in this specific instance, there's not a whole lot here that can save you time in the speedrun. However, that doesn't mean that there could be some fun things that you can do with this glitch otherwise. Yeah, I can even come to the hotel early, and there's not a whole lot I can do. You can't just go to the hotel and start choosing the story. That just doesn't work, unfortunately. So you kind of have to, so far, play through the story based on the triggers that are loaded. So hopefully this just gives a decent explanation of how to do this glitch for people who want to explore and have a little bit of fun with this glitch. However, there isn't any clear use cases where this will save time in the speedrun. So if you have any questions or observations, you know, feel free to leave them in the comments. If you want to join the discussion about speedrunning Legends ZA, you're more than welcome to join the Switch PSR speedrunning server. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you.